start. Since independence, India has acquired considerable experience in prevention and control of both communicable and non-communicable diseases. While we could successfully eradicate many deadly diseases like smallpox and guinea worm and are on the verge of eliminating leprosy, we are now facing the problem of resurgence of serious communicable diseases like malaria and tuberculosis. While we thought that we had eradicated malaria from the country, it has now come back in a highly virulent form in the country, it has now come back in a highly virulent form in some areas here, almost fatal. So far as TB is concerned, roughly about 15 million Indians are infected with the disease, and every year more than 1.2 million are getting added. Hundreds of thousands die of TB each year. However, the most serious public health challenge that the country is facing today is of HIV/AIDS that is just a decade old in this country. AIDS is a global problem, sadly, with a strong Indian dimension. More than 20 out of 100 adults in Africa face death in the next 10 years. In one African country, population growth will halt in the next 4 years. In another African country, life expectancy will drop from a high of 61 years in 1990 to only 41 years next year. What is happening? What is happening is being compared by senior United Nations public health officials to the fatal plague that wiped out 1/3 of Europe's population in the 14th century. According to the South African government, 14% of their population of 32 million is infected with HIV, which leads to AIDS and death, and 1,500 more are daily diagnosed with the virus. President Nelson Mandela has, earlier this month, said, although AIDS has been a part of our lives for 15 years or more, we have kept silent about its true presence in our midst, adding, we have too often spoken of it as someone else's problem. That is South Africa's situation, and there is President Mandela's recent statement. I have taken the liberty of referring to Africa and quoting President Mandela because our situation is also alarming, and could become frightening, and we too speak of AIDS as someone else's problem. Look at our own AIDS situation. The Health Ministry puts the figure of HIV infections in the country till now at 4 million. Stop.